The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hello students, hope you all are happy and healthy. The last 2 weeks exams were going on, isn't it? How was your exams? Are you all happy with your performance? I am very happy about you all because majority of you were excellent in the exam. Only a few were not up to the mark, but don't worry, you can also improve if you put little more effort. And I would like to remind you certain things. First thing is regarding the pronunciation. During the examination time, we understood that the content was thorough for you all, but the pronunciation was wrong. So, listen the videos carefully and understand the correct pronunciation because it is very important. You know, in 8th standard biology, you are learning many new terms and new concepts. All these are not familiar for you, new for you, isn't it? So what you have to do, you have to listen to the videos thoroughly many times and understand the correct pronunciation. And when you study biology, read the content many times. When you listen to the video, keep the textbook with you. Along with listening to the video, look at the textbook also and note down the important points in the textbook. And a thorough reading is very important to learn biology. And many new terms are there. Those terms you have to write and study. That will be better. The next time you will be able to recollect the terms and concepts very easily. Okay, so regarding pronunciation, it is very important, should be correct. You're learning science, isn't it? So the name of the scientist and the terms, it should be correct. So listen to the videos thoroughly. Okay? So let us move on to today's class. In the last week, Amala teacher had uploaded the biology class video, isn't it? The second chapter part 3 video. I hope you all had watched the video. And in the video, teacher was discussing on the meristematic cells, isn't it? Did you all understand what is meristematic cell? Did you all study about it? Okay. So, all plant tissues, the different types of plant tissues are formed from meristematic cells. The meristematic cells will undergo cell differentiation and transformed into plant tissues. So you all know that we are developed from zygote, isn't it? From the zygote, the fetus is formed and later on the fetal cells will undergo cell differentiation and change into different types of tissues like nervous tissue, blood tissues, bone tissues, etc. In the same manner, in the case of plants, the meristematic cells will undergo cell differentiation and the different types of meristematic cells will change into the different types of plant tissues. Hope the concept is clear. So in this class, we are going to discussing on the different types of plant tissues. So plant tissues are categorized into two: simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. 3 simple permanent tissues and 2 complex permanent tissues we will be studying in this chapter. Okay, so altogether 5 plant tissues are there by which a plant body is made up of, and they are parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and the vascular bundles or the vascular tissues xylem and phloem. Of these, parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma are the simple permanent tissues, and the vascular tissues are the complex permanent tissues. Now let us discuss on plant tissues one by one. So first we'll discuss on parenchyma. Parenchyma tissue is made up of living cells that are thin-walled with the simplest structure, and they are seen in the soft parts of plants such as tender roots, stems, leaves and flowers. And their function is to perform photosynthesis and also storage of food. The next we'll move on to the collenchyma. Collenchyma tissues usually seen under the epidermis, and they are made up of living cells that are thick only at the corners of the cell wall, and their function is to provide flexibility and support to the plant parts. Next one is sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma tissue is composed of dead cells that are uniformly thick all over the cell wall, and their function is to provide strength and support to the plant body. Sclerenchyma tissues are usually found in the non-growing parts of a plant body. That means the hard parts of the plant body. For example, the bark, coconut shell, coconut fiber, then the shells of seeds, etc.
Children, now you have got an idea about the simple permanent tissues, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Why they are called simple permanent tissues? Yes, because they are made up of only one type of cells. Now let us familiarize with the next category of plant tissues, that is complex permanent tissues. You all know very well from your lower classes that the plant needs water, food as glucose from photosynthesis and minerals from soil. These are all essential for their growth, isn't it? Have you ever thought how these food, water, minerals and all are transported to different parts of the plants? So there is a need of specialized tissues formed from peculiar cells to do this function, and those specialized cells or tissues are called vascular tissues. These vascular tissues are of two types in plants, that is xylem and phloem. Let us learn more about the xylem and phloem. As I said earlier, these vascular tissues, that is xylem and phloem, are complex tissues because they are made up of different kinds of cells. And these complex tissues perform different functions also. Let us learn about the xylem. What is the structure of xylem? You know, they are tubes formed from elongated cells. Their cells are elongated and they are arranged one above the other. For example, we all know straw used for drinking juices, isn't it? When we arrange the straw one above the other, it will form a long tube, isn't it? The same way, the xylem is also arranged in the plant tissues, that is from root, stem, roots to stem. Okay, so these kind of tubes are there in the xylem tissues to transport water from the roots. ഈ റൂട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് വാട്ടർ ഇങ്ങനെ മുകളിലേക്ക് പോവുകയാണ്. This transportation is possible only with the help of these xylem tubes. So these kind of tubular elongated cells are there in the root as well as in the stem to transport water and minerals to all parts of the plants. That is from roots to all parts of the plants. So their transportation will be from downward to upward. അങ്ങനെ താഴെ നിന്ന് മുകളിലേക്കാണ് അതിൻ്റെ ട്രാൻസ്പോർട്ടേഷൻ. What are the things transported? That is water and minerals from soil. Now you just understand the structure of the xylem. That is, they are tubes formed from elongated cells, and also they have thick cell walls and provide them strength and support to the plants, and their function is to transport water and minerals from the root to all parts of the plant body. Is it clear? Now we can go to the next vascular tissue, that is phloem. See, the phloem is also the same as the xylem. That is, they are formed from tubular elongated cells, and they have another peculiarity, that is they have interconnected cells. You will learn more about this in your higher classes. Okay, now you just understand what is the function of phloem. That is to transport food from leaves. You know very well, the plants prepare food in their leaves with the help of sunlight, carbon dioxide and minerals and water. And these prepared food in the leaves has to be transported to the all parts of the plants via phloem. So that's all about the xylem and phloem. In short, we can say xylem are the cells, vascular tissues, which helps the plants to transport water and minerals from the roots to all parts of the plant body, and the phloem are another vascular tissue which helps them to transport food from the leaves to all parts of the body. The movement of food from the phloem cells are from upward to downward. Xylem cells downward to upward, phloem upward to downward. That's all about the xylem and phloem. Now we can go to the next activity session in your text. Let's complete the following worksheet. There are 5 questions, that is about 5 tissues. That is parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma and the 2 vascular tissues. Just answer the questions. The first one is transports food prepared in the leaves to various parts of the plant. Can you see the answer? Yes, they are phloem. Next, transports water and minerals absorbed by the roots to the leaves. What's the answer? Yes, of course, the xylem. Next, seen in the tender parts of the plant. My teacher has already discussed about it. Which tissue is present in the tender parts of the plants? Yes, that is parenchyma. Only the corners of the cell walls are thick. Which tissue has the corners only thickened? Yes, that is collenchyma. Next, cells that are uniformly thick all over the cell wall. Uniformly thick all over the cell wall. Which tissue? Yes, that is sclerenchyma. Now you turn the page. There is a flow chart given about the plant tissues, vascular tissues and also other plant tissues. Just fill the flow chart and just copy into your file. The worksheet also you have to copy into the file. So this is the work from this class. Like that, in the previous classes we have discussed many things, that is animal tissues, meristematic tissues, cell differentiation. These are all topics we have discussed. So you have to do the file works regularly as per the classes going on. So complete your file and watch the videos more than 2 times. Then only you can understand the concepts well. So children, that's all for today. Study well these topics and take care yourself. Bye.